Welcome back to my GH Fans channel. I do not think the most shocking part of this story is the gunshot. I think the real shock comes in the silence right after it, because it seems like the attic at Carly's house may become the kind of place where every secret in Port Charles starts bleeding through the floorboards. Brennan has already been pushed into a situation that looks temporary on the surface, but I keep feeling that this paralysis drug is not just a convenient way to stop him. It is very possible that this drug becomes the reason everything spirals out of control, because Nina may believe she bought 1 full week of safety, while Valentine and Carly may believe Brennan is no longer an immediate threat. But what if everyone is wrong about how long Brennan stays down? I keep looking at Nina's choice, and I do not see it as simple panic. I see fear, desperation, and maybe something even darker buried underneath it. Nina stabbed Brennan with the syringe to stop him and Valentine from fighting over the gun, and on one level, that makes sense. If she had waited even a few seconds longer, it could be Valentine on the floor, or Brennan, or both of them trapped in a mess that could never be cleaned up. But the truth could be far more complicated, because Nina did not just stop a shooting. She also tied herself to Valentine's secrets in a way that Carly may never forgive. This means that Nina may now be part of a cover-up she never truly meant to join. I suspect Brennan will be hidden in Carly's attic, unconscious, restrained, and treated like a problem that can be managed. It seems like Valentine may convince himself that this is only temporary, that he just needs time to think, time to move Brennan, time to protect Charlotte, time to protect himself, but I do not believe time is on Valentine's side. It could be that the drug works differently on Brennan because Brennan is not like Drew. His body, his training, his history, and whatever WSB conditioning he may have endured could make him recover faster than anyone expects. No one expected that the man meant to be helpless might be the first one to regain control. And if Brennan wakes up early, I do not think he wakes up confused. I think he wakes up furious. I think he wakes up already calculating who betrayed him, who touched him, who moved him, and who thought they could keep him locked away in Carly's home like some secret nobody would find. It is very possible that Brennan hears voices below him before he fully opens his eyes. It could be Nina whispering in fear, Valentine trying to stay calm, Carly pacing somewhere nearby, wondering how her life turned into another nightmare she never asked for. And maybe Brennan, still weak, still dizzy, begins working at his restraints in the dark. I can imagine the first sign being small, a scrape against the floor, a muffled thud, something that could be ignored once, but not twice. Valentine may freeze because he knows exactly what that sound means. Nina may try to convince herself it is nothing, because fear often makes people bargain with reality. Carly may be downstairs, not fully aware of how close the whole situation is to exploding, but Valentine would know. It seems like he would understand before anyone else that Brennan is waking up too soon, and that one mistake has now become a moving target. This means that Valentine and Nina may go upstairs together, not because they are brave, but because they are trapped. They cannot call the police. They cannot ask Carly to handle it. They cannot pretend Brennan will sleep through the week. They have to face what they created. And what if Brennan is not lying helpless anymore when they open that attic door? What if he is standing, unsteady but conscious, with rage in his eyes and just enough strength left to lunge? I do not think he needs to be fully recovered to be dangerous. Brennan has always felt like the kind of man who can weaponize weakness if that is all he has left. I believe the gun becomes the center of the room again. Maybe Valentine brings it with him because he is too smart to enter without protection. Maybe Brennan grabs for it. Maybe Nina screams without words, frozen between the man she once loved and the man she nearly killed with a syringe. I do not need confirmed details to feel where this is going. because it seems like the writers may be setting up a scene where everyone has a reason to panic and nobody has the full truth. Brennan may accuse Valentine. Valentine may realize Brennan knows too much. Nina may understand that saving Valentine once has only put them in a worse position. Then the shot happens. I do not think Carly sees the beginning of it. I think Carly hears the blast from below, and that sound changes everything. 1 second, she may be trying to figure out how to survive another impossible secret. The next, she is running toward the attic because she knows something has gone terribly wrong. It is very possible that when Carly reaches the doorway, she does not find a clear answer. She finds chaos. She finds blood. She finds Brennan collapsing, maybe not dead, but badly wounded. And she finds the kind of silence that comes after people realize they have crossed a line they cannot uncross. I am leaning toward Brennan being the one who gets shot, but I do not think that makes the situation simple. The truth could be far more complicated. Brennan may be hit because he attacks Valentine, or maybe Valentine fires because he thinks Brennan is about to expose him. Or what if Nina somehow causes the shot without meaning to by trying to pull the gun away at the wrong moment? It could be that everyone in that attic has a hand on the disaster, even if only one person pulls the trigger. That is what makes this dangerous. Not just the bullet, but the blame. Valentine running would not surprise me. It seems like he may see Brennan bleeding and know immediately that staying means losing everything. Valentine has survived for years by choosing movement over confession. If Brennan is alive, he is a threat. If Brennan dies, he is an even bigger threat because now there is a body, a scene, a weapon, and Carly's house at the center of it all. This means Valentine may not wait to explain. He may grab Nina, or he may leave her behind, depending on how deep his fear goes. And that is where I think Nina's real test begins, because Nina may love Valentine, or at least love the memory of what she once believed he was, but she also knows what it means to be abandoned. If Valentine runs and expects Nina to follow, it is very possible that she does. Panic has a way of making people choose the familiar disaster over the unknown truth. But what if Nina hesitates? What if she sees Carly standing there, horrified, next to Brennan's bleeding body, and realizes Carly is about to take the fall for something she never started? I can see Nina torn in half, one side pulled toward Valentine, the other crushed by guilt. Carly, meanwhile, may be left in the worst position of all. I can picture her standing over Brennan, hands shaking, trying to decide whether saving him saves her or destroys her. If she calls for help, she exposes the attic, the drug, the kidnapping, the cover-up, and maybe every choice made in fear. If she does nothing, Brennan could die, and Carly becomes part of something far darker. It seems like Carly's loyalty, survival instinct, and conscience may collide in one brutal moment, and no one expected that Carly, who was already dragged into this mess, might become the person holding Brennan's fate in her hands. I also wonder whether Brennan knows more than anyone realizes. What if he wakes up long enough to say something that changes the meaning of the entire conflict? Not dialogue, not a clean confession, but a clue, a name, a warning, something that Carly cannot ignore. It could be that Brennan has been playing a deeper game from the start. It could be that Valentine is not only afraid of Brennan's revenge, but of what Brennan can reveal about Pikeman, the WSB, or even someone still hiding in plain sight. The truth could be far more complicated than one fight in an attic. I keep coming back to the idea that this shooting may not end the story. It may open a larger one. If Brennan survives, he may not tell the whole truth right away. He may use what happened as leverage. If Valentine escapes, he may become more dangerous because he has nothing left to lose. If Nina runs with him, her relationship with Carly may shatter beyond repair. And if Carly stays, she may once again be forced to clean up the damage left by people who claimed they were protecting someone. So I do not think this is just about who gets shot. I think this is about who panics, who lies, who runs, and who stays behind with blood on their hands. It seems like Brennan may fall, Valentine may vanish, Nina may make the worst choice of her life, and Carly may be left staring at a secret that is still breathing. But if Brennan opens his eyes again, even for a moment, what if the person in the greatest danger is not the one lying on the floor, but the one who thinks he got away?